Wonderful people. I hope you're doing well during this lockdown. I know it's not easy, but I did notice that many of us have already started adapting to the new circumstances and looking a lot more stable. As I chat to people, I noticed that one of the things that people struggle the most is procrastination. Let me tell you, like many of us throughout the world, there's one thing that I did notice that we also have in common, is that we're all doing a lot of cleaning around the house, right? So now all of a sudden we also became like cleaners, I don't know, like too much dishes, washing, cleaning and blah, 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 like a lot of things, and all of a sudden we feel like we have too much to do. And our brain, when it feels like it has too much to do, I don't know why, but our brain chooses to not do anything, right? So let me give you an example. I don't know how much you know about AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, but there's one thing that I'm sure you've heard about, is that they tell you that you shouldn't think that I'm not going to drink forever, because when you say that to your brain, like, okay, now I've quit and I'm quitting forever and I don't want to drink anymore for the whole life, you know, you tell that to your brain, that brings panic. And your brain says, no, this doesn't sound good. And what does the brain do? It wants to drink. So the worst thing we can do is to actually go that way and use that aim. The advice that they usually give is live one day at a time. And when you wake up, you tell yourself, today I choose not to drink. So you live each day for itself. Therefore, it doesn't overwhelm your brain, and you can easily then keep up with that. And as you live each day and you make that decision each day, by the end of the year, you didn't drink for a year. And that's when they put in and say, okay, 1 year of sobriety. Fantastic. That 1 year to happen, it started because one day at a time. So now let me give you the example of what people have been complaining the most, which is the cleaning and the dishes and all of that. So what works for me and what I can advise is, instead of thinking like, okay, oh my God, I have so much to do and I don't even know what to start, look at that, it's so much. Maybe you can be like, okay, fine, I've got a few dishes to wash, but maybe I don't actually need to finish it all. Let me just wash a few and then I'll continue later, but just to ease the situation a bit, right? And once you do that, somehow you get into the feel of it, because the problem is not doing it. The problem is to start. But from the moment that then you just are able to actually agree with yourself to start cleaning and doing it and everything, and you're in the process, you can easily just continue and you do more than you have expected to do. Does it make sense? So this also works. This is called the 5-minute procrastination rule. For whichever project that you have in your mind that you'd like to do and you find it like, I really don't feel like doing it, think about it. Just ask yourself, I'm going to do this for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, okay? So I've given the example before. Even if you decide to write a book, if you tell yourself, I'm simply going to write for 5 minutes a day, usually you write for more than that. But even if you don't, let's assume that you just do the 5 minutes a day. By the end of the year, you will have like a proper long book. You know, you'll have the end result that you want. So things happen in stages. And that same thing can be used for many other aspects of your life. Just use the 5-minute rules. I'm going to do this for 5 minutes and that's it. And you see what happens. My personal advice, what works for me and what I do enjoy the most, I use cleaning as a form of meditation. My perception of meditation is not to sit down and think about nothing. I don't even know why people actually do that, because that's so unachievable in my eyes. But fine, maybe one of you have achieved that. Well done if you did. So meditation means being aware of the here and now, enjoying what you're doing, instead of thinking 100 dishes, one dish at a time, and make it fun and art and everything. You're doing the dishes, you're thinking about your stuff, you play your favorite music. I myself love to listen to Alan Watts, as you know. So as I wash the dishes, I listen to my favorite thing, Alan Watts, and his words, and his humor, and his laugh, and the philosophy, and everything. And the most interesting part about that is that as I'm washing the dishes, and I get into a concept like, oh my God. So I managed to get that aha moment as I wash dishes. So I actually associate dishes to something very nice, because through the washing dishes, I get aha moments as you are there. Just be there in the here and now. And note, there is no activity that is more important than the other. Any activity, you are free to do whatever you want. Do you want to sit? Do you want to sit for 10 hours, and do nothing? Sit, do nothing. Look at the animals, They sit, they do nothing. When they feel like standing up, they stretch and they continue with their lives. What do cats do? You can tell, you know that it has found, apparently, I read this article, that it said that cats, they actually understand what you're telling them. Let's assume that you're telling the cat, come here. It does understand, but it chooses to come or not to come. It does as it pleases. The cat sits for as long as it wants to sit. When it's bored of sitting, it stretches up, it stands up, and does what it wants to do. Okay. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week.